What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and today I wanted to speculate a little bit about Star Wars Hunters and the fact that it could actually be coming to console and PC despite only launching on mobile and Nintendo Switch to start out. Now, I want to make it clear that this is just speculation on my part, judging off a few things that I've noticed around the place, and so this is by no means confirmed as of right now, but I do expect to hear more about it in the future. Before we get into it though, if you guys are new around here and you end up enjoying the video, then do consider subscribing and turning on those notifications so that you don't miss out on any upcoming Star Wars Hunters content. With the marketing for the game seemingly starting to gear up, there is plenty of exciting stuff on the way, but with that being said, let's get stuck right into it. So obviously they've begun their marketing push for the game over the last week or two, and there has been some pretty promising stuff to come from it, with the trailer and the gameplay itself being much more exciting than I initially expected. Ever since the initial teaser trailer back in the beginning of the year, there has also been an accompanying website for the game called swhunters.com, and ever since the beginning there's been an option to register your interest for the game, allowing you to actually receive emails about any new info, and you can actually unlock rewards depending on how many people register as well. You can see here that there are 6 rewards to be unlocked at launch for anyone who signs up if we do get to 1 million registrations. So before I go any further, if you guys are keen on the game, then be sure to register, because you can actually unlock a few rewards, which data mining has shown that they will be a couple of skins for Utuni and Reeve. Now anyway, getting back on topic, when you do register your interest, it actually asks what platform do you typically play on, with a drop down box allowing you to choose your preferred platform. Weirdly enough though, when you click that drop down box, it has options for Nintendo Switch, iOS and Android, which obviously makes sense, but then it does also have the option to choose PlayStation, Xbox or PC. Now that doesn't at all confirm that it will be coming to those platforms. They literally could have just included that to collect data on how many people choose those platforms, or really any other reason, but it does strike me as a little bit odd personally, and it definitely just has me a little bit excited that they are at least thinking about those options. If they were 110% set on only releasing this game on the Switch and mobile devices, then personally I wouldn't have thought that those options would have been put there, as obviously people are going to get excited about this and take it as confirmation of those platforms getting the game too. So to me it feels like they're at least thinking about those platforms, whether they end up going in that direction or not. Now, on its own, that's hardly enough of a reason to start thinking this is possible, and you're probably thinking I've clickbaited you or something, but there is a little bit more to this story than meets the eye. Back in early February of this year, there was an article put out there by Game World Observer mentioning that Zynga, who are the developers of Star Wars Hunters, are planning on releasing its first cross-platform game on PC and consoles. Zynga have become notorious for their mobile games, however, they're not a console or PC developer, and so this is obviously a pretty big move for a company like that, essentially branching out into an entirely new market. It then goes on to say though that this doesn't mean that the publisher will release standalone console games outside of mobile platforms, which essentially means that the games they release on console and PC could still be cross-platform with mobile. There's no guarantee that they'll separate the two, which just adds even more fuel to my little theory that the game could actually arrive on console and PC. Now, to add even further again, Star Wars Hunters is confirmed to be using the Unreal Engine, which I'm sure most of you will know is the same engine as Jedi Fallen Order, which was obviously a AAA very high quality game. And while that doesn't mean that Hunters will be on that same level, the fact that it is made in an engine that's primarily used for PC and console gaming is also just another layer to this speculation. Now, there are a heap of other mobile games out there too that do use Unreal. Hunters is hardly the first to do it, but since the game is obviously on the Switch as well, it likely needed to be made in an engine that was going to work well with the Switch too, and so it does all just seem pretty viable that the game could eventually be ported or even fully developed for console and PC, since it's not like it's running on an engine that's incompatible with those platforms. Individually, each of these little bits of information really don't mean all that much, but when you combine the fact that they ask about those platforms on their site, they've confirmed that they want to release a console and PC game for the first time, and the fact that the game is on an engine that's very regularly used on console and PC, it does all just start to get a little bit more exciting, and so I'll definitely be keeping my eye out for any more information. One thing I do know is that it won't be launching on PlayStation, Xbox or PC when the game actually releases. It 110% will only arrive on mobile and Switch just to start off with, and then if the game goes really well, then perhaps they will begin working on a console or PC version, or if the game is a bust, then maybe we'll just never see it. But personally, I do actually think there's a pretty decent chance that it could make its way to console, simply because of all of these little bits of information that are adding up over time. Let me know what you guys think though. I am going to get out of here, but I am very keen to hear what you guys have to say about it. I know that being a mobile game, a lot of people have instantly written it off, but if it does end up coming to console and PC, is that something that would excite you guys more, or would you still not be all that excited for it? That is going to do it for this one though, guys. As always, a massive thank you to my channel members and my patrons for the continued support. If you guys are interested in supporting the channel as well, then be sure to check out the Patreon page that is linked down in the description. If you enjoyed the video, then be sure to leave a like down below, and if you are new, then consider subscribing to the channel with those notifications on. Thank you all very much for watching. You guys have a great day, and I'll catch you all in the next one.